So this video is going to be about anxiety symptom, numbness. Yeah, I do get numbness on my hand, sometimes both sides, sometimes only one side, my legs, my arms, even my feet. That's when I didn't have panic disorder. When I got panic disorder, I still have the same numbness on my legs, my hands, my feet. But once I started having more numbness, I remember a couple of times my face would turn numb, my entire face, even on top of my head. Sometimes normally it's just one side, but there's sometimes it's my entire face. And then I even had one time that I had this buzzing sensation on top of my head, and then my face was numb, and that instantly threw me into a panic attack because I never felt that before. Like I mentioned, when I didn't have a panic disorder, panic attacks, I did get numb on my arms. Normally when I sleep on one side, one of my arms, like have my hand under my head, like I'm sleeping like this, and then just goes numb, which is pretty normal when you wake up and you sleep on your hand, on your arms, whatever. As far as getting on them on my leg, it's because sometimes I sleep kind of strange, like I have my head turned this way, my arms like that, and then my legs were kind of like going off the side of the bed, so that caused me to have like numbness and tingling sensations when I wake up. But you know, I remember one time when I had this numbness face on my face. When I woke up and my mom asked me to go to the post office. This is sometime last year or early this year. I don't remember, but I remember I had that my face turned numb, and that was the first time my face ever got that numb. Prior to that, when I had my anxiety, my face was numb, but not too often. I had numbness on my lips. When I had the numbness on my lips, it felt, like when you go to the dentist and they numb your lips. That's how I felt like, but my lips feel fat. And whenever I ate, I couldn't really feel my lips, so I was having a hard time eating. When I was drinking a cup of water, I couldn't feel the bottom part of my lips, because normally when I was having the numbness on my lip, it was on the bottom lip. So it was like I'm drinking a cup of water, I would just splash down and drip down my lips because it was so numb. I couldn't feel it and I couldn't eat. But when my lips were numb, it didn't really trigger me to have a panic attack. Only when my face got numb in the top of my head. As far as that day when I went to the post office, when I woke up, I had the numbness, and when my mom asked me, "Oh, can you go to the post office?" Post office is like about 8 minutes away, 8-10 minutes away. I say okay. I was driving, my face was numb, top of my head was buzzing. What I mean by buzzing is, sometimes you hear that buzzing sound like coming from the electricity line, the power line. You hear that buzzing sound. Normally you'll hear it like during when it gets really hot. That's why I felt like I was feeling that buzzing, humming sensation on top of my head while my face was numb, and I was still able to go. I didn't go inside the post office. I just had to go do and drop it off in the drop off box outside. Just stick my hand out the window, but and then I said to myself, I'm just gonna go walk around this little store just around the block. I did that, but I can feel my face, the buzzing just got really, really crazy. What I mean by crazy is like if I touch my head, I can kind of feel like a little vibration in my head, and then it didn't throw me into a complete panic. After a while, I just start walking around the store. I was only in the store for like maybe 10-15 minutes. And then the buzzing and then the numbness just completely went away, and then I was completely fine. The thing that got me worried about numbness and tingling, especially my face, because I never experienced it. Because a lot of time when you with a panic disorder, any little symptom you get, no matter how long you had them, they can throw you into a panic attack. Or let's say you have a new symptom you never had, and let's say you have a panic disorder for like, let's say 5 years, and you had the common symptom, and then out of nowhere you had this new symptom come out. It might not be a painful symptom or sensation, like sometimes you can have goosebumps or something. I experienced goosebumps when I started having panic disorder too. That can throw you into a panic attack, even though goosebumps doesn't hurt. But it's just that feeling that you feel on your hand, wherever you're having a goosebump, that you can say, oh my God, what's my hands doing? Is there blood clot? That's why my veins are sticking up. Why this, why that? But yeah, so far haven't been getting that much numbness, feeling in my body. Once in a while, get it on my hands or my legs, where I usually get them. So I'm used to it, having numbness right there, so that's not gonna throw me into a panic attack. But if I never had that numbness on my hand and my legs, and I started experiencing panic attacks, then yes, if I have numbness on my parts of my body that I had them before I have the panic disorder, then yes, they will throw me into a panic attack, because I never experienced before. It's just like sometimes you get a symptom, like a migraine, and you had migraines before you even have a panic disorder. That migraine might throw you into a panic attack because you're thinking for the worst case. You're thinking, oh my God, migraine. You might have brain tumor, chest pain. You might have heart attack. Numbness, it's a symptom of stroke. I mentioned this before. My brother passed away because he had a couple of strokes. So that every time I feel numb, especially my face, instantly I think I'm gonna have a stroke. It throws me back into remember my brother, and then I start thinking, well, oh my God, what if I have a stroke? But it's a symptom of anxiety. So when you get a symptom that comes up, like a stroke, heart attack, brain tumor, or cancer, or whatever it is, that's what your mind is gonna tell you that you're having. That's why panic disorder, people that suffer from panic disorder has a hard time saying, oh, it's just a symptom of anxiety, because you're always thinking, oh, what if it's not? So that's just like me. When I had chest pain, I remember when I get that heavy chest, where my chest feels heavy, it feels like my chest is crushing in, like someone's just went behind me and just tried to crush me to death. And I get that my heart will be racing, things like that. What comes in my mind? My mind is not going to say, oh, it's just a panic attack. My mind will say, no, you're having a heart attack. That's a symptom of anxiety. But in your mind, you say, no, that's a heart attack. But you have to realize that if you're gonna have a heart attack, and then you're panicking for the last 15, 20 plus minutes, thinking you have a heart attack, you have to remind yourself, no matter how hard it gets, if it was a heart attack, you would not be able to be running around saying I'm having a heart attack. You won't be able to lay down, say I'm having a heart attack for how many minutes, maybe even an hour. You wouldn't be able to go outside and see the mailman, how you see your neighbor and run up to them, say, help me, I'm having a heart attack, hurry. Things like that. You wouldn't. Another thing, people that, including myself, when I started having that breathing issue, where you feel like you're suffocated, I would say, I can't breathe. I'll even I'll stick my head out close to the window, like by the AC, by my fan, just to get some air going through, and I'm gonna say, I can't breathe. But if I'm talking and I'm moving, I'm breathing. If I was having a stroke, I would be, my body will already have a stroke. You can't walk around saying, oh, you're gonna have a heart attack, I'm having a stroke, I have a brain tumor, things like that, because these symptoms and these sensations, they come and go. But if you're having a heart attack, you're not gonna stop halfway and have the heart attack halfway, and then the heart attack decides, oh, I'll have it later, I'm gonna have a stroke. or I'm gonna have a stroke, and then halfway later your stroke is like, maybe later, you know. If you're suffocating, you're gonna suffocate till it takes your life away. You're not gonna be over there like, oh, I can't breathe, and then I don't know where you feel fine, you know. So your mind is not only playing tricks on you, but you're so scared of it that your mind doesn't know how to react to your symptoms. So your mind is telling you the worst thing that you can think of because you're telling your mind that. So your mind feeds off of what you tell it. If you say no, this is not a symptom of anxiety, and your mind is telling you yes it is, and then you keep saying no, and then that's all your brain's gonna know. Okay, fine, you win. You're having a heart attack for the for X amount of time, or you're having a stroke, whatever it is that you think you're having for the last few minutes, few hours, few months, few years, whatever it is, you know. So for example, for me, for myself, like, you know, I have this panic disorder for a little bit over 2 years. So but what really helped me is reminding myself if something deadly is gonna come, and I think I'm gonna die because of it, how come I didn't die before? You know, so you just have to always remind yourself, and then just continue doing the things you're doing. You know, that's what really helped me. It might take a while because your brain is so used to you freaking out, but the sooner you reprogram your mind, you know, stop thinking that something bad is gonna happen, then your mind's gonna ease off and it's gonna calm you down, because your mind is only freaking you out because you're freaking out your mind. But as far as the numbness and tingling sensation, you know, just remember, it's just a symptom of anxiety. If you know, if it's a stroke, you know, you probably have some other symptoms that will come with the stroke, you know. But other than that, that's pretty much it. There's a bruise or something on my right foot, so I can't really, on my left foot, I can't even walk straight. I even had a hard time putting on my shoes. I think there's like a little lump or something on my foot. So each time I step on my left foot, because I'm putting too much pressure on it. So I don't think I'm gonna get to go too far. It's not, plus there's no need to cause more pain on my feet. I actually wanted to go to walk around the lake or to the pond today, but with my feet like this, I don't think I would have been really able to walk. I think because I was sitting down so long yesterday on the computer applying for jobs, I think the way I sat down caused me to have my legs to be in pain and my back.